Alright, so I am making this video for the very few people who have decided to take me up on the offer to join me on Destiny. This is a buildcraft video, basically, but it's also going to show some basics about how to get your controls the way you want them. So we're going to go to first open settings. First thing we want to do is go to keyboard and mouse, and we want to change controls around to be more representative of what we want, right? So um, I have switched my charged melee over to F because it works really well with certain builds that don't always want to just use their punch when they're up close to something. And then auto melee is the right click so that I can just whatever melee is available at the time. Let's see. You can see I've changed a lot of things. I've changed my block to shift because it's a little easier for me to reach. My jump is space, which is the standard. My sprint and crouch are both on my mouse. My air move is over on tilde because that helps with one of my class abilities, which my class ability I've moved to 1. I have changed my... Yes, my weapon slots. Kinetic, energy, power. Those are all on number keys, so they're a little easier for me to reach. I need to quickly reset this because it went away when I went to do something recently. That's pretty much it for the keyboard and mouse. Just want to make sure you change your controls so that they're easy things to reach. Um, for me, I wanted everything to be pretty easy to get to, and I like my sprinting and crouching to be just on my mouse, so they're not really something I have to think about much. But, fix it to whatever you like for it. From there, we're going to go into, real quick, the build crafting stuff. So you can see I got a bunch of gear on. I am wearing a 4-piece tech sec set because they give a bonus to kinetic weapons, and my primary is a kinetic weapon. Let's see. Oh yeah, I just got this from Zur. What does it even do? Withering Blade causes stasis crystals. Okay, I think I know what that does. It's pretty cool. Um, None of this is super important unless you're actually playing a hunter, but one of you is. So I'm using the Arcstrider subclass, but I've got elements of the prismatic. You know what? That's not even relevant. I'm just gonna, yeah. I mean, here I'm gonna show you real quickly how I go about getting big power drops. So I go into the portal, pick an activity. I'm gonna customize a Heliostat because I've been getting pretty fast with Heliostats. Go into customize. I'm playing on ultimate, but pick whatever the highest light difficulty that you have available is, master or grandmaster. Master is fine if you can get yourself an A plus in the modifiers, but what we're going for is either an A or an A plus. So I'm going to go ahead and just stack a whole bunch of negative modifiers in here. This brings me up to a B plus. I think I can also do touche and no starting ammo because my bow is pretty much all I use, and it will always start with ammo. Let's see, I'm using this because I'm using arc abilities, so I'm up to an A. I could just leave it at an A, and that would get me 502. Because I'm over 450, they're always tier 5 engrams, but you'll get tier 3 or 4, whatever your light level represents. And if I push it to an A plus, which would involve having basically all the negative modifiers, you can see it doesn't actually increase that light level at all. But if I drop it down to a B, you see it does reduce the light level. So you want to go for an A. There we go, I've got an A. And then you want to pick boons that benefit you. And mind you, not all of these boons are usually available. They're all available right now because of the event that's going on, the Call to Arms event. But usually you'll be kind of digging through here to find a couple things that work well for your build. In the case of this build, you always want full throttle if you can get it because it's just very powerful. I want Brawler because this thing uses almost exclusively melee. And then another good one to get if you're solo is Slayer. The player with the most final blows during an activity deals moderately increased damage. Again, if you're solo, this just improves your damage output, period. If you're not solo, then maybe you want to pick a surge that benefits both players. That's what I've been doing with me and my buddy Leaf. I've been picking arc surge because we're both doing warlocks that are mostly using arc grenades. But in this case, I'll be solo, so I'm going to go with Slayer, Brawler, and Full Throttle. This is going to just basically buff the damage of almost everything that I do. I mean, it will buff the damage of everything I do between Full Throttle and Slayer. Brawler is only going to buff my melees, but that is my primary source of damage. So now we go out, look at the modifiers. Because I have stacked all of these difficult modifiers up, I'm going to be getting a higher reward package and, adding the no starting ammo and setting it to Touche. If you are already using an avant-garde loadout, then Touche might as well just be the way you go because it gives you one extra reward multiplier and doesn't actually change anything. Again, as long as you're already running a featured loadout, so a loadout with everything that is got a green icon on it. Once again, you can see in my loadout, everything has a green icon, which means I could run avant-garde, but Touche is 1 point higher. So that's pretty much that on how to set up your events. You'll do that with any given quest, right? You'll go in, customize the modifiers until you get up to an A, and then you kind of just have to go for it. But one thing that's really important to remember is that your knowledge of the quests will be critical in your success. If you don't know what you're doing and you don't know where the baddies are spawning in, what the worst things to expect are, when to expect those terrible things, like, yeah, you're gonna get fucked up. You're probably gonna have to run a quest many, many times before you actually have it, like, down pat. And even once you have it down pat, it just takes a tiny little click of a button wrong to go and die. Which is why I'm not using Blackout, which is a modifier that would add a lot of extra difficulty, but if all members of the fire team die, you're returned immediately to orbit. It's not such a big deal unless you're running solo, in which case a single death on a jumping puzzle will bounce you back to orbit. So I'm not running that. I'm also not running the timed modifier just because I can actually beat this in under the time limit pretty easily, but I didn't really feel like adding the timed modifier to it. I probably should have, because it probably would have been easier than adding a difficulty modifier. But that's okay, because it's not difficult with this build. Here's our opening. And we want to clear out these baddies first. So that's the reason I'm running tech sec, actually, is because as you see, everything over there is now disoriented because I broke that guy's shield. I'm about to break this guy's shield and re-disorient everything. We'll go back up to the guy that's flying, disorient everybody. And if we can keep enemies disoriented, that's something we can do with the tech sec 4-piece by using a kinetic weapon to break shields. You can also do it with certain specific weapons. There's a scout rifle, the Forced Memorial, I wanted to say, something like that, that can roll with disorienting shots. After you get a kill and you reload, your next shot will fire a disorienting blast. That's another good way to disorient foes. Disorienting is really useful in difficulty of this tier. It's not mandatory. I could have jumped over that cliffside and done my melee, but it was way safer and easier to just hang back and disorient things and keep shooting them with this bow. And mind you, this bow is definitely a god roll bow. The Mercury A with kinetic tremors and attrition orbs, it only takes 2 shots to trigger the kinetic tremors, and that will trigger the attrition orbs. So you'll spawn an orb after 2 shots hitting an enemy, and you'll basically always break their shields on those 2 shots. So if you're running a 4-piece tech sec, you will also disorient everything around them and deal some damage to everything around them. Call the Quicksilver Scion in. Now we just charge down here, whack that guy. So the attack that I'm using is a sliding attack. If you notice, when I slide, my little attack graphic changes. These are not like mandatory, but they are the primary reason that I have my melee set to a different button. Well, it's actually the primary reason that I have my slide set to a different button. So that barrier champ goes down on one punch without putting up his barrier. See, here's another one. Down he goes. Because this build is just such a powerhouse when it comes to raw melee damage, even champions just immediately drop. So let's go ahead and hit that to keep this event going. We want to keep a pretty fast pace if we're going to try to get through here with a good high score. And that's just going to mean making sure that we're pretty constantly fucking something up. Couldn't shoot that guy for some reason. Well, I know the reason. It's because I'm inept. Alright, get those dudes. Go ahead and come over here, because I want you a little closer to others when I do that. Okay, got the radial aerial suffusion going. So try to find places where you're covered, you know, to do anything like this. You won't always have one, but, you know, dodging around a little bit, just trying to maintain cover, kind of the way to go there. So we got the first tier of saturation. Now we're going to go ahead and head in here. Big baddies. These guys will explode at you. They're very frustrating like that. Cool. The electricity already went and took out the thing we're supposed to hit, so you got to hit these things. They'll be glowing when you get in their room, so they're not too hard to spot or anything. But if you have good area stuff, it will also sometimes just take them out for you. Okay. And as you can see, we're not like stopping to focus on enemies per se. We are just kind of plowing through them. This bow just eats stuff alive. It's currently set to anti-barrier, so it will also go through... Now, this doesn't work with all anti-barrier weapons, but anti-barrier bows go through Hydra shields. So you can just kind of fuck up Hydras without even really having to think about it. And you can see I'm dropping orbs kind of everywhere, kind of all the time. And we're looking to get more Radiolarian suffusion. So we're just waiting on another Radiolarian guy to spawn up. Oh, hello Hydra. Bye-bye Hydra. I never even loaded that thing, because I forgot I started with no starting ammo. Ah, the Radiolarian guy's gone, but there's a barrier champ up here, I think. No, I think I saw it wrong. Where is that Radiolarian fucker? There he is. Let's just blind him so he stops running around everywhere. So I'm using the blinding grenade because it stops overload champion or unstoppable champions. And I do have my sidearm on for that reason, but the sidearm is just a little bit less reliable because you have to take the time to aim down sights for a while. So you see I'm aiming down sights, and then you see that little light flash that goes over it. Whoosh. That shows me that it can now hit an unstoppable champion. And that's great. It's just, it's not something that I want to wait for all the time. Oh. Try not to look away when you're doing difficult activities. So that's what they look like. I'm going to shoot the second one. Oh, hello, barrier goblin. Oh, no, I didn't slide. Ah, dang it. He got his barrier up. That's okay. The bow breaks it in 2 shots. They don't even need to be charged up shots. They can just be, like, raw. I am not getting my slides off quite right most of this time. But as you can see, like, I've got practice knowing where the enemies are going to spawn in, and that's kind of a big help to what I'm doing. And mind you, a lot of my damage is just kind of raw area, and that's super useful, but it's not, like, necessary all the time. You can also just try to find good, safe locations. Now I have really high class ability energy, and that's the reason that I keep getting an overshield when I do that jumping move, because that thing burns my class ability to use it. And whenever something burns your class ability, whatever you have that is affected by class ability stuff will go ahead and trigger. So I'm also running better already in my mod slots, because whenever I pick up an attrition or whenever I pick up an orb, it'll start my healing. And I pick up orbs automatically using my class ability, so I can start healing automatically. And then because I've picked up, because my class ability also gives me an overshield, it protects me while I heal. Alright, so final radial aerial saturation. Go ahead and run over here. We could just hang out there and farm score for a little bit, but it's not super duper worth it. Come in here, take this guy out. That guy can really fuck you up, so just be aware of him. Be aware of both of those Hydras, because they can be very dangerous if you don't have something that'll one-shot them. So now we drop down, find our computer, there it is. Activate it, and begin the charge over to the next space. Now I'm actually doing this one without a sword, so I'm going to be able to show you the path that you take when you don't have a sword to swing. Gonna keep with my bow at the moment though, because like, if there are any enemies, I want to hit them with my infinite ammo. And this bow is just insanely powerful. It's very worth noting that this thing is definitely a step above most weapons in the game. And this one is currently available from Zavala. So make sure you get this before the week is over. So before next Tuesday, because it is very, very worth it to have. Like, you can see I'm going through this whole run practically only ever using this bow. Part of that is because my jolt, which I get on my punch, my melees and my class ability, that will take care of overload champions. I'm using a blinding grenade to stun unstoppable champions. So the only thing I have left that I really need to worry about is barrier champs. And I currently have anti-barrier bow. And as I showed you this thing, okay, so this puzzle, by the way, you go activate that, and then this answer is right here on this screen. So we're going to go over to these screens, find the answer. If you hit the wrong one, it will cause radiation to flood the room and kill you. Now going down here, this is always a pain, and it just kind of straight up, it just takes practice. You know, you have to just practice this one. But I'm going to try to get down here as best I can. Unfortunately, I'm not sure that I will make it on the first try, but I did. I found that rocket-assisted stuff, like rocket-assisted sidearms, help that a lot, just because they are so good. Like, their AoE really does the trick sometimes. Okay. Now we're moving on to the boss fight region. Just checking my screen. So here I actually step out a little bit. Let's go ahead and get that done, and then we'll come back, because this should spawn stuff. Yeah, now stuff is spawning, which means that these snipers are going to come out soon. I just got to hit a couple of things down below to get the snipers to spawn in. Come on, there we go. There's the snipers. So I'm taking them out with a bow. You can use kind of whatever your long range option is. I love this bow. It is insanely strong. As you can see, I'm actually damaging everything down there with it because of those area of effect shockwaves that it sends out. So I could sit up here and just like farm those dudes till they're all done. But I'd rather come down here, huck that blinding grenade over where the unstoppables are, and then fuck stuff up. You want to get really good at your sprinting and stuff like that. Your timing on these things is really critical. So it looks like I might actually have to get out my sidearm for these unstoppables. Oh, nope. The punch took him out. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Go ahead and get in here. Call the hacking scion, and what is my code? My code is reverse play button, arrows up, and hourglass. I don't always call them the same things, but some of them I do. Okay, so that's hourglass. That's going to be our last room. This usually goes around in a circle, so if one of the side rooms doesn't have it for you, then check the other side room. Although, yeah, okay, so this time, this is our first room. Go ahead and call the hacking scion. And then bust in here, hit our slide, hit our dodge. Take out one last little guy. Oh. All right, so this should be our partner hack. Security fragment code accepted. Cool. I was correct. Get in here. That's right. It's around this way. So it's probably going to be this room over here. That is our next room. Let's see what we got. We got the... Yep, there's the up arrows. Looks kind of like an alien too, I guess. Like, that's the symbol we're looking for. And if you look through this window here, you don't even have to go in these rooms. You can see there's the symbol right there. Let's call the hacking scion. Go ahead and make our way through to the main room. No, I'm not getting my slide timing. That's okay. There. Got him. Let's execute the partner hack. That's going to accept the security code fragment, and then we're going to head back over. And to our final room, which is going to be, I think, this one over here. Enemies in there? Yeah, still enemies. Cool. Call our hacking scion in. Our last symbol was, I believe, the double diamond. Yeah, the hourglass. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Everything gets downed. We hit the hourglass. Your symbols are going to change. You know, each time you run through this, you'll get a different set of 3 symbols. But each room will only contain one of the 3 symbols that you need. That is how you determine the order that you go through the rooms in. Alright. As soon as I get out here, there's going to be baddies. I want to get those dealt with. And going to want to be careful doing it too, because there's a lot of enemies out here. So we'll just duck back into the room once in a while. There's an overload right there. I already threw my grenade, so I don't have a grenade for these guys. What I do have is a sidearm. I can tap him with my sidearm, finish him off with the melee, and the other one goes down too. So you really could just power through those guys with melees. You don't actually have to stun them. Stunning them does make it easier to power through them. Okay. And let's go ahead and just get this group. Now, every class has something that is capable of this level of destruction, right? Like my my warlock is probably even more destructive. I'm just enjoying the hunter build a little bit more. And I think, you know, you can kind of see why. Like, it's very active. It's got a lot going on. And that means it's never dull. Fuck you, barrier champ. God, I hate these guys. I hate the way they blind you. Alright. Go get the other. This isn't a barrier champ, that's the captain. Finally get this guy to stop following me. Okay, that's them all covered. Activate the Warsat elevators. Oh yeah, there's loot. You don't actually have to wait on the loot though. It'll drop into your inventory at the tower. But I like to wait on it. See what I got? Go ahead and hit that guy to start getting me an orb. I believe I'm actually also using a kinetic siphon. Yeah, I am. Just to, get more orbs. Because orbs are really important to the build. So when you get up here, the first thing you want to do is be evasive, right? Because there is a barrier champion right there. So you want to get over around here as best you can and as fast as you can to take out the barrier champ. Which I'm going to stun with 2 arrows and then take out with a melee. Now, we have got the jumping puzzle. I'm not sure which side I've landed on. Okay, I recognize this side. Call the radiation shielding scion, which, I don't know, this is kind of optional, because, like, I end up doing most of this jumping puzzle without the protection anyways. But it does help, like, right here, speed things up a little bit. You don't have to wait on the radiation. Get over here, and there we go. And immediately worry about enemies, because these guys will mess you up. Also, barrier champ, where'd he go? There he is. Him, I'm just going to take out from range entirely, because I can and should. Because trying to jump to him is only going to give him more opportunities to snipe me. But this bow, man, this bow eats them. Again, cannot recommend this bow highly enough. Like, it is so good. It will be, it's not like it's, the bow itself is going away, I should note, but Zavala is not going to have this copy of it with these perks, maybe ever again. I mean, he might have it at some point in the future, but as far as I can guarantee, like, it's here this week, it will be gone on Tuesday. Alright, so we have the radiation shielding. Let's go ahead and hop across. Gonna need another hop. Don't go too far. Oh god. The hunter jump is a little tough to control. So we lost the radiation protection, which means we want to go and try to avoid the radiation if possible. We're not going to be able to avoid this dose. Luckily it won't kill you, but you can't, like, jump really well when you have it, so you need to just kind of wait for it. Now that that's all done, we are over to this sector. Jump up here, come up here. We're going to have some enemies over through here, but as you have already seen, enemies really are not an issue with this build, because we just kind of go in and absolutely shatter them. Same thing applies to, the Warlock buddy build. Like, make sure you've got a buddy with you, go in and absolutely shatter them. Now this we're not actually going through just yet, but might as well clear it since we're up here. So now we're going to look to see which side has enemies on it. That side has enemies on it, which means that is the undone side. This is the side we've already done. So I am going to take these enemies out from afar, just to be a little bit safer. Also, I'll have a couple of orbs waiting there for me. Oh, there's a barrier champ that I didn't see. That's okay. But only because this build one-shots them. Oh, nearly one-shots, I should say. I guess it doesn't always. Maybe, I know why. It's because I didn't have an armor charge. Armor charge can be kind of important because it boosts my outgoing melee damage quite a bit. Get my protection, and now you might be able to hop straight to that one from here, but I'm not brave enough to try that right now because, again, the hunter jump can just be a tiny bit unpredictable. It goes specific distances, Oh, almost messed up. Almost messed that up real bad. Okay. That barrier champ has already spotted me, though, so I need to deal with him sooner rather than later. I was going to put him off until I got across, but with the bow that I have, I can deal with him pretty easily, so I just kind of might as well. And that'll generate a few orbs for me to go pick up and get my stuff all going again, because being armor charged is It's not mandatory for the build, but boy, howdy does it help. Kind of helps with most builds to get some armor charge. Let's see, I don't think I have a radiation shielder here, so we're just going to go ahead and make the jumps. That should be just perfect timing. It's very lucky. So you have a few seconds when the radiation starts to come up before it actually will do anything to you. So don't be too nervous about, like, oh God, oh, okay, whew. I got too nervous about my jumps. Take them out. All right, now we're coming through to get the second Gravilift override. Okay. That is this sector finished. We still have 11 minutes on the clock for the boss fight. Shouldn't take but maybe 3 or 4, honestly. We'll see. Heading up here. Oh, Gravilift didn't want to take me. Okay, here we go. They know I'm going to kill the boss. That's why the Gravilift didn't want to cooperate. It was like, oh no, don't kill the boss. So something that's important for this room, this is where your scions go. This guy right here is your radiation shielding scion. He is not always available. When the boss is in damage phases, or between damage phases, I should say, the radiation shielding scion, all your scions, from what I can see, get like locked up, and they can't go anywhere and do anything. So we're going to get radial aerial suffusion, and while we're at it, going to go ahead and take out this barrier champ. Generate some orbs to go pick up. Get these orbs because they are also on the way to our next objective. Okay. Go dissolve the barrier. It's going to be always the same barrier when you come through. Out the baddies, as usual, call your hacking scion, and then drop down. And you are right back into the fray, where some caution may be warranted, depending. I have got my radial aerial saturation now, so we're going to head right over to the other side of the room. And if you see large groups of ads like this, go ahead and just hit them with something, because you don't want to come out and find those massive groups of ads when the boss is also spawned in. They're not going to be a total, deal breaker or anything, but they can really mess you up when you just have a lot more ads than you were planning on. Okay. There we go. Execute the partner hack. And here we go, back down. This is going to bring the boss in. So he's going to spawn in, hit him with some damage. I threw my super at him. And then I'm probably going to hang around this guy for a minute because that boss HP is going to go down pretty quick. And once his HP starts going down, that's when you want the psionic protection. So hanging back up there can also just be handy because there's fewer things that can target you from there. But make sure that you get these scions down as soon as you notice them, because they will mess your day up. Uh-oh, I got the radiation poisoning. I got to avoid being hit. The radiation poisoning probably won't kill you. It shouldn't kill you, but I don't know that for sure. When those wardens are up, the scions are blocked. So you can't do shit about the radiation until those wardens are gone. Damn it. I let myself get a little out of whack because of the radiation going off all of a sudden. I wasn't really ready for it. Get these wardens down. Ah, shit, I'm screwed. Fucking harpy dives, man. I hate the way they do that. Oof. Oh, I'm in bad shape. I'm going down to this poisoning. There, the fucking warden is finally down, so I can protect myself from the radiation again, but not for very long, because I'm going to actually have to slaughter the boss in just a sec. Come on, let me get there. So, okay, I got the protection. Let's get healed up. Gonna have to go refresh this protection before I actually hit the boss too hard. I'm gonna use a little debuff. Get some fresh protection. Okay, I've got unstoppables up. So throw a blinding grenade. Ah, why is my friggin' class ability not off timer? Oh! My ability timers are really vexing me here. Okay, there are new snipers in the back. I don't have a grenade charge, so I'm going to have to unstop that guy the old-fashioned way. Okay, there's a warden. There's the warden. Gotta deal with him. Oh, love that. Because I'm charged with light, or I'm armor charged. Sorry, it was called charged with light for like a few years, and so the fact that it's called armor charge now really kind of messes me up a little bit. Take out those snipers. Or they'll take me out. It's getting pretty spicy in here. Okay. Alright, all the snipers are down. Now I can actually take out the boss. Which I have another supercharged for, so let's go ahead and hit him with that. Refresh my protection. Down he goes. Alright, there we are. It took a little longer than the 3 or 4 minutes I expected, but I did die a couple of times, so that'll do that. So, there you go. That's the Heliostat on Master difficulty with a buttload of crazy modifiers. Now let me go ahead and get my loot. You can see what you get for being 450 plus. Come on, chatter, chatter, chatter. Note, I have 17 revives left because of getting through that with only 2 deaths. There's my normal drops, and then there's all my extra stuff for being level 450. And it's always tier 5. See? Bushido Cal, tier 5. Good one, too. Melee grenade and weapons. Bushido Grips, tier 5. Also good. Melee class and weapons. So right now I'm using a tech sec set because the bow makes the tech sec set really, really valuable. Smash that. And what do you have? Nah, I'll get rid of that one too. I don't think this is going to be a god roll. It's not. I mean, swashbuckler proximity power or 1-2 punch proximity power. Those are excellent combos. I might keep that one just for... Nah, I need my own fall leveled up. Go ahead and power that up. And then I got a ribbon tail at 502. Is this a god roll? No, subsistence is good, but it's not a god roll. So, oh, my Mercury's already 502. Well, what else do we level up then? I could do the mint, but this character doesn't use it much. Yeah, it looks like that's what I'm leveling up for right now. I mean, I could do a couple levels on a couple of these things, but I don't think that I really want to power them up to 502 and sacrifice the 2 pieces of Bushido that I got, because I am strongly considering switching to a Bushido set since I use this bow so much, but part of the reason I use it so much is the tech sec. We'll figure it out. Anyways, that is the Arcstriding Hunter that I've been playing a lot of lately, and along with it, some build crafting info and a quickie guide on how to get through Heliostat. So, thanks very much. Have a great day. If I make this video public, which I don't know if I will or not, I mean, feel free to subscribe. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing these. Maybe.